Let me move some windows around. How's it going, everybody? Friday afternoon. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. I see some comments in YouTube already. And I believe we're live now on Facebook as well. Somebody throw a comment in there. It usually takes a few minutes to kind of get everything going. I'm going to wait just a couple minutes, then we're going to bring in Mr. Trevor. Hello, Ethan on Facebook. We see Wes says, we want Trevor. We want Trevor. Yeah, I know. You tune into a Trevor Harbolt AMA and you get me. That's a talk about bait and switch. Hello, Mr. Hawk. Ben, now I'm actually not answering any questions. Sorry, I'm gonna save all those for Trevor. But I just kind of wanted to make sure the stream was established and that people could see and hear us on Facebook and YouTube. The order of events, I'm going to bring Trevor in. We're going to talk just a little bit about his disc golf story, get to know him a little bit better, which is actually going to be awesome for me because we chatted yesterday just for a couple minutes, but I haven't actually had a chance to really get to know Trevor yet. So that'll be fun. And then we're going to talk about his recent unboxing and flight videos that he's making and what he's thinking about DGA discs so far. And then he's going to announce the official 2021 Trevor Harbolt Tour Series. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's what everybody's been asking. No, that's TBD, which stands for Tyler Brickley Determines, just in case you didn't know. And in which case it's the Torrent. If I was calling it right now, I would say the Torrent because that's mine. So, okay, enough of me. Let's bring in Mr. Trevor Harbolt without further ado in 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up, Trevor?
Hey.
Trevor, you've got kind of a mood going on. I like it.
What kind of mood?
It's kind of
excited
you've kind
mood,
of
maybe?
got a mysterious aura around you right now with your lean in a little closer. Hey, there he is.
Hold on, I'll do something with my phone, maybe. Maybe I can.
Oh yeah, even that's perfect. There you are. Perfect.
I'll
Oh,
turn
but
that
you got to
down.
mute me though. People can barely stand to listen to me once, let alone twice. I'm
Fix it by
excited.
phone so we don't hear it blowing.
I'm excited to chat with you a little bit about your disc golf history. And I'll get into, we've got so many questions. We're probably not even going to be able to get to all the questions. But
Awesome.
guys, put your questions in the chat if you want. But for now, let's start with Trevor. Can you just kind of tell us about yourself, what got you into disc golf and what you've been up to?
Yeah, sure. I'm 36 years old. I live in Kentucky. Oh, there's the light. 36 years old. I live in Kentucky right now on off season. I come to help out my dad and stepmom with the business and stuff, air conditioning, stuff I did kind of before disc golf career kind of took off. I just love frisbees, man. I love throwing discs. I love throwing them in the basket. So it's my favorite thing to do.
How long
I
have
don't know
you?
what else you want to know.
No. That's good. That's great. That's why I'm here. I'm supposed to
Right.
help. But so how long have you played for? How many years?
2021 will be my 30th year. My 17th year as a pro, maybe 18th year as a pro disc golfer.
So you have a unique perspective because all of the rest of us are constantly saying things like, man, if I had just found out about disc golf sooner, or if I had known about it when I was younger, like I could be a touring pro like Trevor Harbolt. What is it like to actually have been aware of disc golf most of your life?
It's been pretty awesome. Like, my dad showed me when I was like 7 years old at Otter Creek Park in Meade, Kentucky, and I just fell in love with throwing the disc. I threw it really hard and really far, and so they all had to, when I was a kid, saying Trevor throws far. Oh look, Trevor throws far.
Yeah.
So I just learned at a young age how to throw and rip the disc, and I just fell in love with it so quick. I hit my first ace when I was 16 or 15 years old,
Wow.
and just got hooked from. So
How many aces? Are you one of
it's
those
been
guys that's like, I lost track at 2000 or something?
well. No, I think I'm only at 47 or 48
Only.
over 30 years, which is crazy because all the courses around here, they have older baskets. We have some of the very first like steady baskets that went in Otter Creek in
Wow.
1978.
Yeah.
And so they're like really thin chain. So I had to learn how to putt different ways.
Hmm.
But like it it's just been fun learning all these new discs, since 1991, like all the new plastics. I remember when CE plastic came out. I
Mm.
remember when the tsunamis and squalls came out. So it's just really cool to see all the new stuff, how big the game is growing. The sport is my favorite thing to do, so I'm so happy to be still relative in the game because that's something that's really cool for me. Is I'm 36. I've been playing for a long time, and I can still keep up with some of these young guys just because of the experience that I have on the course.
Yeah, for sure. That type of stuff, like throwing far and everything, can come and go, but you can't beat somebody who's played for 30 years on the putting green. I
Oh
can't.
yeah, they can still.
So how long have you been a touring pro? Like actually driving around and
um, 5 or 6 years,
okay,
4 or 5, something like.
okay. And the question that was in my mind, which is like super minimalistic, is like, what's that like? Like I guess I'll preface it by saying that seems like really hard to me.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's fun, it's easy, it's stressful, it's hard. It's everything you could possibly think of. That you don't think about the little things on tour. You think about going and playing and practicing, but you don't really get to do as much as you really want to do because you want to do good on the courses that you're playing. You want to, stay relative. You want to be the best in the competition. So we try to have fun on the road and go see different things like waterfalls and mountain chains and overlooks and things that are relatively cheap for us, but also something that we just see a lot of beauty in and fun. So it's awesome.
What do you do when you go through Kansas, though?
I keep
That's
driving.
really, yeah. That explains why we've never hung out. We don't have any waterfalls or mountains.
Yeah, I used to live in Manhattan, Kansas when I was
Oh,
younger. I knew disc
nice.
golf, but there wasn't a lot of golf there that was close when I was younger. So didn't get to play too much in that time of my life in Kansas.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Manhattan is one of the few places in Kansas where there's actually a little bit of elevation on some of the courses. They're pretty fun up there.
I have to go play. I played in Salina once. I've played BO, but that's really all the Kansas courses I've played.
I want to ask you a little bit about your tour schedule. I know that's going to come up, and I know it's not all set in stone. We'll get back around to that. Um, in terms of your game, before we transition to talking about answering people's questions and stuff, let's spend just a couple minutes on like, I think most people know, or maybe they don't. Let's start by assuming a couple people don't know what Step with Trevor is all about. And then kind of talk to us about your game. Like if you had to describe us like you were doing disc golf commentary and you were describing somebody on film, like how would you describe Trevor Harbolt's game?
I am Michael Joe with better hair. Michael Joe,
There
me
you
and we,
go.
we threw relatively the same bag on Team Discraft, and we had a lot of fun, learning each other's styles and stuff. And I'm a really good wooded player. I like the nice flip up disc like Michael Joe does. We threw a lot of cranks. He throws forces for the certain same shots that I do. So I feel like I'd play like Michael Joe. But what was the other question there?
Just describe your game overall, off the tee, recovery
Oh,
scramble, approach shots, step putts.
yeah. So the step with Trevor thing came from I made coverage on Jomez my second time, and I was playing with Paul Ulibarri, Double G, and Bradley Williams. In the first round, and I hit some really big step putts, and it got blown up out of proportion on the disc golf debate group about was it a foot fault and all this, and was I
Oh.
cheating and this stuff. And I handled it like a champ. Let's be real. Like I'd handled it really, really good. And it was also, I was at that time, I was running for the PDGA board of directors, and I thought it was the perfect time to have this controversial step putt and use it for my campaign slogan. So it stuck. And, this marketing manager hit me up and said, you need to really use that to your advantage. And I have. I've not let back on that. I have a really good step putt. People say that I'm one of the top in the world. I don't. I just try to get them to go in the basket. If they go in, they go in. If they don't, hopefully they're close enough that I can drop them in.
Yeah.
But I'm not a great sidearm player, even though the last year I've worked on it a lot. So I'm predominantly backhand. I do hyzer flip a lot. I love nice and fist, man, that'll flip up from my hyzer line and go right to flat and do exactly what I need to do in the woods. So that's kind of really my game. I like up shots with sidearms. So that's really backhand. You'll see light laced lines. I could throw pretty far. If I do internet distance, I can throw 800.
Wow.
If I do my distance, it's I can still reach 500. So I did take a 2 on the USDGC par 4 where you've got to throw it completely over the OB and land it on that island, and that's 526 feet. So
yeah, that's awesome.
I still can throw far.
Would you say that putting is the strongest part of your game, or is that just kind of the assumption because that's kind of the hashtag in your campaign and everything? That's what a lot of people know about you, but do you think that is?
No, I think putting is my weakest part, but I always think putting is my weakest part because I always need to work on it. Like I don't feel like I'm a great putter. A lot of people say, "Dude, you kill it. You're a great putter," and then there's flashes where I'm like, "Okay, I'm one of the top 25 in the world at putting," and then there's sometimes I'm just like, "Man, I'm not even close." So I just keep putting in all the work and just keep pushing. But I don't feel like I'm the best putter. I don't feel like I'm a great putter, but I love to work at it. My best part is probably accuracy off the tee, keeping it in bounds and playing smart.
Yeah, so in 2020, right, according to, was it UDisc stats? The fewest OBs. So you were number 1 in least OBs on tour.
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
Such a cool feeling. Yeah, everybody wants to be the best putter. Everybody wants to be the best, the furthest thrower. But I take a lot of pride into keeping that disc in bounds and not taking as many bogeys as some of these guys do. So I think it keeps me in the game. I think it keeps me consistent, and it's something that I really take a lot of pride in.
That's fantastic. Well, let's move into a couple of these questions because they're all going to kind of circle around that same, talking about your game, talking about your disc selection. Oh my gosh, there's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. I put out a post this morning asking for questions, so I'm just going to rapid fire through those, and then we're going to cherry pick off the lists on YouTube and Facebook. So, Trevor, you ready? Take a deep breath. We're going to...
Yeah. I just want to say one thing real quick.
Yep.
Don't hate on me because I'm a Patriots fan. I'm sorry that we won for a long time and nobody else was used to it. My bad.
There's a handful of disc golfers out there who are like, wait, what are the Patriots? Is that like a club team somewhere? Or what?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Nick says, just out of curiosity, how much do you think switching disc brands will pose as a challenge for you?
Not necessarily at all. I think the hardest part about switching any brand would be finding the right putter, just something that feels good in your hand. Because let's face it, putting is the main thing that you got to do on the course to score. So don't think years that it'll be too challenged. I think it's mostly the archer, not the arrow, but there's a lot of arrows out there that are really good that the archer can use to his advantage.
S Bear says, I'm kind of summing up a few different questions because we got a handful about the blowfly. Uh, but like, what do you think of the blowfly? Have you ever thrown one? Are you gonna bag it? It's the most magical. Like, there's a handful of blowfly fans out there who are like, is Trevor gonna have a blowfly?
I mean, so there is a disc that I threw when I was on Discraft called the soft. It was a soft plastic, soft focus, and I don't know if we have the soft kind of plastic. So I think the blowfly could actually be something that I utilize in my bag for like 100-foot up shots that are slow and little nice turnover shots with my sidearm that float through the woods. So I mean, it could probably make my bag. I have thrown it before when I was a kid because it was fun,
Yeah.
and I could throw it. So there's a lot of like possibilities with it, but I don't really know for sure. I haven't got to really mess with it, and plus, I didn't get any in my box.
Yeah.
So
Well, and as fast as we can make them now, people are buying them, which is super fun. I've got a few,
awesome.
and I bag one, and now the new Glowfly, and they are very fun. Okay.
Matt Bell in a ball and throwing it
Yeah.
was a
Right.
pretty cool video.
Exactly. Okay. Back to the hair. How many times? Ben says, how many times have you, Michael Joe, James Conrad, and Greg Barsby ended up on a card together?
All four of us never. That would be the most epic card that I could have possibly. That's
Right.
one of my dream cards, actually. But I have played with Michael Joe and James Conrad a couple times on the same card, and it's
Okay.
always a blast. I played with let's see, Conrad and Barsby, and a local in Dallas, Louis, and we all had long hair, and they called it the long hair card, and that was really fun. But never all four of us at the same time.
How do you think they came up with the name, the long hair card? Do you think were there like a handful of people that got together and hashed that out for a while?
Yeah,
Probably.
me and James and Barsby all signed up in Texas, and they were just like, "Dude, it'd be so cool if we could get a long hair card on video." Well, we didn't get on video, but they did put us all on the same card, and it was a grand time.
I think they should have called it like the main card, like MANE maybe. Just like people, just call me, just don't let. All right. Anyway, moving on. Uh, Billy Ashton asks, what DGA discs is Trevor looking forward to securing in his golf bag right off the bat? We're going to spend more time on this, so don't go like crazy into it, but just off the top of your head, which ones are you excited
Tsunami,
about?
um,
Interesting.
Tsunami, a Rogue. The Rogue has been really fun to throw, and the Breaker. The no brainers. I think for the top, the Rogue maybe not a no brainer. Not many people might not really throw that one, but
Sure.
that thing is so good.
Yep. And did you say you're thinking Matt Bell Pro Series steady?
Yeah, I like to try out the other plastic to see how they feel, but I really do really like the Matt Bell putter.
Okay, thank you for I'm gonna just, in the interest of trying to keep up with everybody, I'm gonna jump to the live comments now,
Yeah.
and we're gonna scroll back up and yeah, thank you. There was a lot of comments about your beard and my beard, and I'm like, I didn't even know I was on a list. I mean,
You
but
do have a nice beard.
I'll gladly give Trevor best beard in disc golf because but you have the best hair too, so it's a little bit selfish when you think about it. You got to have both. It's like just
Well, I can't help but have wonderful genes, man.
well, it's just like can you just take one, leave some for the rest of us for crying out loud.
I don't know if I would. I would probably shave the beard before I would shave the head.
You win worlds this year and you shave everything. Deal?
Oh. I can't. I cannot answer that.
I love that it was like, yeah, it's like something
It
you
was
just
there.
think about. Okay, we talked about that. What events are you most looking forward to in 2021? Asks Chris Gass on Facebook.
The first thing with all of them with DGA Plastic, to try them out with a new company, new sponsor and stuff to see what if I can throw them better, see how it works. So, but Idlewild every single year is what I look forward to. This year, though, I'm really trying to get out west. I think that would be really fun to get out to the Masters Cup again, and maybe Beaver States. Those are some Beaver States I've never been to, so it's like a dream place to go. But I think we're going to hit, the regular Waco. We're going to go to Jonesboro. I'm doing Vegas. We're going to do Mid America Open. That's always a blast in Missouri. That's one of my favorite tournaments. And Maine. I mean, if I don't go to Maine, I feel like I'll go in depression for 2 months. So
Okay, internet distance 800 feet. I want something between I want something between my drone and a buzz. Is the Quake the way to go? Uh,
um, I
Interesting.
threw it a couple times today. I didn't get a real great feel for it because it's so cold outside. But
Hmm.
I could see it possibly be a real good possibility.
I would suggest the Quake is a great option for that, mainly because now with it being available in Pro line, SP line, and Granite and D line, wow, it's actually quite a few now. The differences in stability between the Quake in the Granite and D line and then the Quake in the SP and Pro line are pretty significant. So if you like the feel of a Quake, you can cover a really huge spread
Okay,
on the other side of the buzz.
I got a special on a D line. I think the D line's got this like dirt like kind of floppiness to it that I really like. So I feel like I can do some work with it.
Yeah,
But the SP is so good.
yeah, and the SP is pretty beefy, where the D line for you is probably just going to be straight as an arrow, I would imagine.
Yeah, I played a little bit. My dad's course is real tight in the woods and stuff. And kind of so I didn't really get to mess with that disc too much. I was afraid I was going to hit some trees and mess it up
Yeah,
without knowing it well. So I threw the Rogue a lot today.
or the Rouge, as people
The
say
Rouge.
on online. What up? Okay, I'm going to jump over to YouTube. And what about the, yeah, I've seen this question all over since yesterday. What about the Trevor Harbolt 2020 Tour Series disc? What is your Tour Series disc going to be? Tell us right now, confirm. Ready? And it is definitely.
Um, there's got to be some. We got to. I mean, DGA and we got to chat a little bit about that. I have some ideas. They have some ideas. My first initial, when I signed the contract, my first initial was Trevor Harbolt Tsunami. Because when I was younger, 17 or 18, me and my friend was Tsunami Trev and Tsunami Tim, because we threw tsunamis on every course and just shred them.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know how that would work. I don't know. I mean, that's my first initial thought, but I want to throw some stuff. And like the breaker seems really good. The rift seems really good. The rogue seems really good. The torrent. I mean, there's a lot of discs that I feel like I could do some work with. So I really want to test them out, try them out, and see what I feel. I think that'll be my favorite. So
I'm so glad that you're getting some footage of that process, because that was my first thought was, man, I wish I could be there with you when you're like throwing all these things for the first time and stuff. But you've got a
yeah,
friend who's semi-famous disc golfer himself. Tell us who
yeah,
you're going to be working with, maybe to put out some content over there.
yeah. Matt Ballard, everything Ballard on Instagram. This guy is awesome, dude. You can do it on YouTube as well. Everything Ballard. He did all the step putt. Of course, he did step putt, but he did all the putting impression videos, and he
Those are
lives
so
in
good.
Louisville, minutes away from me, and we've become really good friends. And he is a funny guy, man. I like not even just on video, like in real life. That man is just genuinely funny, and I'm so happy to have him as in my life as a friend. He's awesome. Shout out to
Came,
Milo Steve.
there you go. Come out to Washington for the Kitsap Classic, says John Brown of John Brown TV.
I'll have to check that one out on the PDJ schedule and see where it kind of coincides with the tour.
He's not even asking. He's just like,
He's
hey,
like, "Come out, man."
yeah, do it. Make it happen. I'll have to give it a chance. Love to see you. Yeah, there's another. Benjamin says, love to see you in Indianapolis. Checkered flag open.
I
Mark
played that
says
one time. It's
congrats.
a sidearm friendly course, and that is a hard place for me to play because of the sidearm that I don't really have.
Hmm, interesting. Um, Favorite unhealthy snack? Asks Christopher on YouTube.
Chocolate.
Chuck, just yeah, just
I'm a
chocolate. Oh, there you
chocolate
go.
fanatic, man. I
Yeah.
love some chocolate.
If you're trying to introduce someone to the DGA lineup, which disc would you recommend in each category as well? Driver, fairway, mid-range, putter.
Oh wow. Being that I haven't really got to throw too much, I will know that we'll say the mid range. I would say the squall. The squall is so good, so friendly for the arm. You can have slow arm, fast arm. That disc will do a lot of magic. The putter, like I said, I only really know the steady right now. I know the Titanic used to be a thing, and there's the Reef, if I'm not mistaken, the blowfly, of course. But I would probably say the steady if you want a good solid push putt or a spin putt. It really works very good. It's just depending on if you like the bead or no bead. And then drivers at the moment, um, the Tempest is really a good disc for slower arms or even a faster arm. If you throw it on hyzer a lot, it's just got a lot of speed and it could do some work.
I was wondering if you were going to find a use for the Tempest. It's one of those discs that, yeah, you don't really hear like
It'll go
touring
far.
pros using too much, but it's got some distance on it for sure.
Yeah, it'll go really far. You just have to put, for arm speeds of I don't want to say my level. That sounds like I'm gloating, but for people on tour, the guys that are touring that have arm speeds out of this world, they that disc will be a utility disc, or they're going to have to throw it on a lot of hyzer, and
Right.
it's going to do its job. But
I'm guessing over the coming weeks, if you haven't already, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of fans of yours who are reaching out. Like, okay, dude, what's the deal with DGA? Which one should I start with? And those are all great suggestions. The Squall being, I appreciate that you mentioned that because the Squall is a disc that like everybody could have a use for. You could hand it to
everybody,
somebody brand new, or like, yeah, a touring pro could have it in their bag, no question, because you can do some work with that.
I will tell you absolutely right now that the SP Squall will be in my bag after throwing it today.
There
That
you go.
disc is so straight,
Yep.
super straight. Just, oh, man, I love it.
Oh yeah, there you go in the chat. I'm new to DGA. What's one must-try disc in your opinion? Well, there you go, Tyler. That's the one.
Squall.
Mark McAllister says, I've seen Trevor ace with a tsunami in 2 shots back to back. What? That's a
Yeah,
story.
it was so me and Mark are really good friends. I've known Mark. I mean, we've been playing disc golf since we were 14 together, and he's the one that got me hooked on Discraft DGA plastic because he was on the team a long time ago as the first amateur and sponsored by Discraft. So he got all this awesome plastic, man. That's when DJ was sending Discraft players their plastic as well. So we got all these beautiful tsunamis. So we went to try them out at Otter Creek Park, and there's a hole that was probably 235 feet or so, a little downhill, and you had to go around a tree. And I threw it, skipped it, and went right in the basket. And I was like, oh, maybe I can do it again. And I threw the same weight tsunami, everything, skipped it just like I did the first one, right in the chains. We got it on video. It was probably in, I mean, I don't even know. It was probably in 1999, 98, something like that.
Can we find that video somewhere? Can you put it on your channel if it's not there already or something?
Mark might have it, and he said he has to find it because it was on his mom's film recorder.
Mark, come on, get your mom's VHS tapes converted to digital. Start a YouTube channel or send it to me. I want that
I had a
footage.
bowl haircut in that video. I remember that.
You what? I'm sorry.
I had a bowl haircut. Like it was.
Yes. Yes. Now we really need it. That's awesome. Trevor, where are you from? And where do you reside typically?
Elizabethtown, Kentucky. It's in between Louisville and Bowling Green. So I've got a lot of golf around me and a lot of golf for a lot of years. Legends in this state. Dave Greenwell, Dr. Rick Vogt, Sylvia Vogt, I mean, just names just keep going. We've got a great Hall of Fame here, and yeah, I've been blessed to be in a great place for disc golf. There's a lot of courses and old courses, so um, I did get to throw far when I was a kid. I just couldn't throw far, but I was throwing far on all these little courses, and I thought it was awesome because I was throwing 200 feet past everything.
Yeah.
But that wasn't really the case. So now we got longer courses, and so
Okay, they're letting me know in the Facebook chat that Mark does have a YouTube, and he said yes with three S's. So I'm guessing he's excited to either post that link here or get that footage up on his channel. I want to see
I hope
that.
he just puts it up on his channel. I think he's got. I think he's got it at his mom's house, and he just went back. He just got second in a B tier in Texas behind Brody Smith and Granbury, and
Oh, wow.
after that, Pennsylvania before the snowstorm hit.
That's awesome. Okay, what questions? Guys, and I am thank you so much. I asked for questions. You gave me 1,000 of them, and now I'm like, oh, cool. Well, not going to ask any of those.
Go through them as well a little bit, but
I'll scroll all the way back up to the top. On at the very beginning of our YouTube chat here, Ben Baxley says, if you could add one thing to pro tournaments, such as a water cooler every 6 holes so you don't have to carry a bottle, or standardized material for tee pads, etc., like what one big change would you want to see at pro tournaments?
man, that's a great question. Me being on the PDGA board and stuff, I had a lot of advocacy for the players and for the sport. My main thing would be consistency across the board on every course that we as touring players play, whether it be the same baskets, whether it be the same tee pads, it's just, I feel like we need more consistency. And that's the biggest change I want. I want the same kind of tee pads, the same dimensions, the same everything, but it's something that we could dive into. For me, it's about 2 hours, and I could still go after another hour and a half after that, probably on what I change. So
that would be a really fun live video to do on your channel sometime, just to pick your brain and more in depth about the tour and about what you did on the board and stuff like that.
That was one of my favorite times in disc golf, and the simple fact, I can't even talk. The simple reason is because I got to hang out with people like Dan Stork-Roddick and, just legends of the game who have had so much influence on our sport. And I got to see it firsthand of how it all worked. And it was fun. I wish I could have been on it a little longer. I may or may not. I'm not saying yes or no yet. I may or may not put my hat back into it next year. So, but we'll see.
A little bit of a conflict of interest, but if you get back on the board, do you think you could make it mandatory for every pro event to need DGA Mach 7 baskets?
Let's see what we do.
You're like, I don't think anybody would see through that at all.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, to be honest, if we're going into that just a tad, I think there should be some kind of, like, if the Pro Tour and the National Tour are running, together, I think that one of them could say, hit up DGA and say, hey, we want to use the Mach X for our National Tour this year and contract it out. The Pro Tour maybe use the Chainstar Pro or the Mach X, whatever company would, fork up the money to have their baskets on the tour. I think that's the way we should go. But, I'm just a volunteer.
Sean Dunn on Facebook says, being #1 and missing OB this year was amazing. What tips do you have in field work to hit those lines like you do?
Oh, wow. Just kind of throw the same way every time. Try to get consistent in your drive, in your everything, in your run up, in your throw, your follow through, everything. Make sure it's flat. Make sure it's all that. After that, you can work on your angles and you can work on everything else you need to know. But once you get consistent in bringing your arm through, your steps being nice and slow, I think that you can get a little more consistent in the field, and then you can start working your disc with angles and really understanding how that disc can be utilized.
Fantastic. Have you gotten to watch any of the Most Fun Wins series?
I'm sure I have not.
It's pretty classic disc golf content. Thousands of views.
I've got Christmas movies right now to watch. I'm a huge movie fan, so like Christmas time, there's like 25 movies I got to watch.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
I've never watched it on Christmas, but that's my opinion.
Your step.
Gremlins is a creepy to me.
Okay. All right. Then I don't know. Step with Trevor. Step with Trevor right into some Christmas movie controversy, everybody.
Yeah,
Tyler
I
Ball
like a little
says
content.
Tyler Ball says proud of you. Andrew Leonard says Die Hard. So yeah, he's with us. What's the first DGA disc you ever owned? Asks Andrew Drace.
Tsunami.
Hmm. That's an interesting thing. The Tsunami is not OOP. It's kind of in a weird, it's like not actively in production, but it's not out of production. And I've seen that
That's
floating
it's sitting
around.
there.
Yeah, I've seen the Trevor Harbolt Tsunami idea floating around. That is an interesting thing. There's definitely a lot of people who still throw them and who still bag them.
Kelly told me that one reason that some people didn't like them when they're throwing on the forehand line or sidearm. Some people call it forehand. Some people call it sidearm. I call it sidearm. On the sidearm lines, that it was like digging into their finger a little bit, so it was hurting them, and they didn't like that feel. Um, I don't know. The backhand, it doesn't do that for me. So I haven't, like I said, I'm not a sidearm player, so I don't really know. I like them backhand, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, like also if you're throwing a sidearm and it's cutting your fingers, you probably are doing it wrong. Like you
Yeah,
might need to
maybe. I mean,
go
my
back to
lady says
basics.
she grips the way she grips on it. Sometimes it does dig into her finger, like a disc, like a force or something that she throws. It might dig into her finger a little bit. She's got a nice callus on the end of her finger, but I think that's normal to get that callus from where it's coming out of your hand so nice and smooth.
So talk to us about Courtney a little bit because you guys are going on tour together. You have a shared YouTube channel. She just got a promotion. Tell us what's going on there.
She's awesome, man. She's been the love of my life for the last 5 years, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Like I got a girl that plays disc golf who's really good at disc golf. She's super chill. I'm so proud of her this year. She's worked her butt off to get to where she is on Discraft, and I'm over the moon for her, man, because she's been working so hard. We're gonna take off and do some more YouTube stuff. Switching over to DGA and stuff, I feel like it's a refresh for me in the YouTube. And Courtney's been really diving in and trying to get more YouTube footage and stuff. So I think 2021 is going to be an amazing year for both of us. We're both ready.
I'm going to drop your channel in here as well.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, High Fives and Hyzer Flips is mine and my lady's brand. With the dog, Indy, she's the greatest dog, touring dog. She goes everywhere. We call her Indy the Great. She's got her own Instagram too, Indy the Great Disc Golf Dog. But High Five Hyzer Flip is our brand. We're gonna have some merch and stuff out with that, as well as our own merch coming soon. So if you see High Fives and Hyzer Flips, that's both of us. That's what we do, and we have so much fun creating stuff together.
Well, it was very nice of her to kind of be your coach and teach you how to play disc golf right.
But she has definitely taught me how to sidearm. She has got a
Yeah.
sidearm that won't fit in.
Okay, so we've got what we're going to do here. You might not be able to hear these people, but before we switch over, oh my gosh, hang on. Hey, everybody on the other call, shut up. Before we switch over, I wanted to say thanks to everybody who watched the live and submitted questions. Give you a chance to shout them out, and then I've got a couple people who want to congratulate you on the new sign up as well. But you say bye to the fans first.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in, man. I'm really excited to be here with DGA and Tyler and Kelly and all the guys at DGA. I've never been more excited in my life for disc golf, and I think that's what's awesome about this whole switch and transition is that it's given me another jolt and motivation and drive, which is something that another thing I hold my head up high on. I have a drive that won't quit. My gears just keep going all the time. I always think about new ways and stuff. So anybody that is watching, you can hit me up at any time. I'm the most approachable person. I love to talk. I like I said, me and Tyler could keep going for 3 hours, dude. If you guys sit here and watched us, just enjoy the ride, man, and and take me along with your ride, and I'll take you along with mine. Really, I mean, I'm just ready. I'm ready for 2021. So thank you guys for tuning in with me, though.
All right. Well, we didn't let Trevor know this, but we have got the DGA staff standing by. Let's bring them in. Hey, there you go. This is DGA HQ. They wanted to
Yeah.
say welcome, Trevor. And can you? I don't think you can probably hear them, or can you?
I don't think I mean, can somebody yell at me real quick?
they're just yelling now.
Yeah, I don't hear nothing, but awesome, man. Thank you guys so much.
They're
Let's
saying
do this.
welcome aboard. I'll recreate the sounds. There's a lot of this. They wanted to say welcome. Okay, thank you very much. And Trevor, to you, thanks for being part of this. And we are really looking forward to getting some content out there with you, seeing you throwing some DGA discs and seeing what you do on tour this year. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, I'm super stoked. Thank you for this, and I can't wait to laugh and make some jokes with you. You crack me up, dude.
All right, thanks, Trevor. All right, we are going to sign off now. And again, thank you for everybody who joined us. Have a great weekend. Throw some DGA discs at some DGA baskets if you've got any of those around. If you don't, email Tyler@discgolf.com and we'll get you some DGA baskets or discs. Actually, go to discgolf.com. I don't want to have, I don't want to be selling stuff all weekend. Go to discgolf.com and get all those taken care of. Happy holidays if I don't see you guys before then. And don't forget, we are still going to give away a Mach 2 basket on January 3rd. So our first day back in the office, no, January 4th, sorry. Our first day back in the office will be January 4th, and we are going to draw the winner of the Mach 2 training basket. You can see details on that on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel on our most recent Mach 2 video. Thanks again, everybody, and signing off. See you next time.